When Muslims began illegally blaring the call to prayer from their minarets at ungodly hours, the police turned a blind eye to the disruption. So, fed-up locals decided that if the authorities won't do anything, they'll have to fix the issue themselves. In the name of multiculturalism, Europe opened its borders to mass migration. Unfortunately, this allowed in millions who adhere to a culture and ideology that not only disparages freedom, tolerance, and diversity but subsequently outlaws it once its numbers and influence grow. After decades of liberal immigration policies, the vast majority of refugees and migrants to Sweden are Muslim men, most of whom harbor oppressive, supremacist values coinciding with Sharia law. One such tenet is that the unbelievers must be made to feel subdued by both violent and intimidating tactics. Of course, according to the Quran, any complaints warrant a horrific execution, per Islam's blasphemy laws. As patriots and ex-Muslims have tirelessly warned, when Sweden's most tolerant town welcomed in Muslim migrants in the name of diversity, they soon discovered that their tolerance wouldn't be reciprocated. Like clockwork, the tiny minority began implementing intimidation tactics such as unnecessarily blasting the adhan, call to prayer. After local authorities turned a blind eye to the hate speech and peace disturbance illegally coming from the mosque's minarets, the people realized that they are going to have to do for themselves. According to Sweden's Sveriges Radio, after police ignored a mosque in Växjö broadcasting the raucous call to prayer over its minaret loudspeakers without a valid license, the townspeople rallied together, flooding the police station with complaints and demands, forcing officers to charge the mosque with several violations. Despite the Muslim community's protests that they are simply practicing their religion, authorities have finally cracked down on the civil disturbance, which may warrant hefty fines against the Islamic Center. Police confirmed that they have been aware of the mosque's illegal broadcast for several years. However, they have done nothing until just recently, when hordes of local residents raised their voices to demand the prayer calls be banned, not only for violating their permit but for hate speech against other religions. The uprising against the Islamic call to prayer has gained traction with the help of the efforts of the Swedish Christian Democrats, a conservative organization dedicated to preserving the country's Christian heritage and democracy. Liberal apologists allege that the incredibly loud daily prayer calls, which also occur in the early morning hours, are akin to church bells. However, even former Imam Thomas Samuel admits that Christian church bells are merely a musical expression, whereas the adhan is undeniably a confession of faith. Of course, the mosque made up a ridiculous excuse, arguing that they misunderstood that the permit they obtained in 2014 was only good for a single occasion and not repeatedly for the next 4 years. The Muslim minority's flagrant flouting of the law and Swedish values has increasingly caused an uproar as more Swedes join in the anti-Islamization movement. Sweden must continue to rise up against the fascist liberal movement that seeks to destroy its culture, values, and laws with an ideology that is violent, oppressive, and intolerant.